Coach Jay from Pembroke Boxing, and this week we're going to tell you all about how to use your jab. Alright, so this week is a big one. This is what I would consider to be the most important one that I've put out yet. There's a lot of ones that are super important to beginning boxers. How to deal with aggressive boxers, how to deal with taller boxers, how to get inside of your shorter boxer. These are all things that everybody's covered before, but there's one basics video that I've not seen put out yet, and that is all about jabs. Everybody who's ever been in the squared circle understands that the jab is the most important punch in all of boxing. The reason for that is it does 90% of the light work, and by light work I mean technical work. Everything you do with your lead hand is technical, and none of it is about power. Your backhand only has one job, and that's to put the hurt on people. Your front hand is all about utility. So before we get into anything here, I need to actually explain what the jab is for. Most people think they know what the jab is for. It's to set up other punches, it's a scoring punch, and that's about as far as most people will go when they tell you what the jab is about. But the jab actually has a lot more jobs than that. Your jab is actually all about range, so the different things it can do for you for range. It can help you maintain range. It can help you get closer to somebody. You want to get closer, you move into the jab. You want to keep somebody away, you keep firing that jab, keep them away from you. You want to gain distance. You throw it while you're moving away, so you can gain distance. You can gauge distance, exactly how far away is it. You throw your punch, figure it out. That way you're finding your range. You can probe defenses. Every time I throw that jab, he blocks it, he blocks it. I know that he likes to block his jab now I can exploit it. And you hit him, engage that blood, come around and hit him. You can set up your punches, so there's no punch that will set up other punches better than your jab. Am I forgetting anything? No? So 4 ranges, how to find it, how to keep it, how to maintain it, and how to get closer. Then you're looking at range finding. You can also blind with the jab. You can throw a blinding jab. So throw a blinding jab, boom, and all of a sudden, by the time his glove is gone, he's off to the side of it. So there's a million utilitarian things that you can use your jab for, and it's very important. Please play that part again 5-6 times. Listen to all the different things that I can say a jab does for you, and memorize it, because it's important that you understand the theory behind the jab, what it's good for. I'm going to put this up again on the list right here, so it should be there now. After the video editing is done, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see all the things that a jab is for. Remember, it's for gauging range, it's for finding range, it is for maintaining range, gaining range, closing range, it's for probing defenses, it's for blinding, it's for setting up punches. It is very technical. Please remember those points before we move on. Now, as you move on, we're going to move on to the first jab. The first jab is something everybody's seen, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. It's a standard jab. Whenever he throws a standard jab, his feet are going to stay in place. He throws his jab out. You notice his front foot is now the one that turns to open up his hips so you can fire that jab. And his back shoulder has fired behind him so that he gets a nice long jab. We need that long jab. The longer the jab that you've got, the better. Bring it back. Real time. So just a standard jab. Everybody's done this a million times.
So you can see here, they're very comfortable at range. They don't have to move in to get their punches off. They're within engagement distance already. So a regular jab is all you need in these very basic situations.
So let's move on quickly. We'll get to the second one. Is a step jab. Step jab is done the same thing as a regular jab, except you're a little bit out of range. So he's going to take a little step with his front foot to gain that extra range, and then quickly get back out of range. So you can't reach, now you can reach. And that's it. It's just a ranging thing. It's not super committed. You're not having a whole lot of power to it. It's just range. You're getting in range, touching him, and getting out before you can return a favor. That's all a step jab is. Take a look at this, see it in real time.
So you can see here, they're just outside range. They need to take that step in order to make contact. This is a step jab.
All right, so that was the step jab. Now we're going to move on to the power jab. Power jab, you're being a little bit more committed. You're out of range still, you need to get in there, you're gonna put a little bit of juice on it, and you're gonna move your entire body in. So instead now of just moving the 1 foot in to get your range and out, now both feet are gonna come in and you've got the weight of your body behind your jab. So it's gonna look like this. So now he's a little bit more committed. You can see it's a little bit harder to get out, but you're coming in, you're committed. So you're coming in, maybe you've got more punches to throw, you've got a plan, you're gonna get under, you're gonna do something else. But you have to remember that this one is not as quick to get out as it is with the step jab.
Go on.
See you later. So now we're going to show the power jab in real time with Andrew and Brooklyn demonstrating.
So now as they're demonstrating this one, you can see that they need to bring both feet in order to get a little bit more power into their punches.
All right. So now that you've seen the power jab in action, we're going to move on to the
Slip jab.
slip jab. Thank you. So we're going to move on to the slip jab. Slip jab is a fun punch. I think I've done a tutorial on the slip jab before. But with the slip jab, all you're doing is you're slipping, you're taking a step with your back foot, and you're throwing your jab at the same time. It's going to look like this. His back foot, so my back foot, is going to step out here. You're going to slip. At the same time, you're going to throw that punch. So it's going to look like this. As I punch for him, he's going to slip and throw that slip jab. Slip and throw the slip jab. Boom. Good. So that's the slip jab. It's actually a very easy punch to throw. Just drill it. The timing is not easy. The technique is easy. The timing is not easy. But remember, don't forget, you have this. Once you've slipped, you throw the punch. You've got a little bit of an angle here. Stand up. Get him right in the flat of the jaw. It's a really good technique. Underutilized as far as I'm concerned. All right, and now I'll have you take a look at Andrew and Brooklyn demonstrating that.
So if you take a look at this one, if done properly, can be very difficult to avoid.
So now we're going to move on to another one. Might get some argument from some people about this maybe not being a jab. I included a jab because it follows the same motion. So this one we call the Bol Jab, and it's going to involve a little bit of outward leaning, almost like it's a really, really long uppercut, but it doesn't have that uppercut path. So it's going to come up from underneath, like that. Okay, Bol. Good. And now we'll demonstrate that as well.
One of the fun things about the Bol Jab is you're actually slipping to the outside every time you throw it. It comes at a weird angle, and it's good for defense.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the Mexican jab. The Mexican jab is thrown with a little bit of audacity. You're not going to slip. You're not turning your hand over so your shoulder's not coming up and protecting your chin. You're just trying to get your hand in between my arms and my high guard. I've got my high guard up, and when you're in the front, it's going to look much narrower than when you're from the side. It's a little bit wider when you're in a regular stance. So if he takes that angle, if he takes a step over here and throws his jab with his thumb up as opposed to turning his hand over, it's a long, skinny shape going into a long, skinny aperture. So it'll look like this, right? Boom. Right in the middle. Slices right through. Slices right through. Boom. That's a Mexican jab. Now we're going to show that.
So if you take a look, his hand with his thumb up, it's able to slice through her guard pretty easily. That's the point.
The next one we're going to show you is another one it's going to take you to a completely different angle. So the angle you're going to throw this one is up jab.
Yep.
A lot of amateur boxers will fight with their hand down here. It drives you crazy as a coach. He'll tell you that. I've told him so many times to keep his hands up. My win is that now at least he keeps his right hand up. So, much like Ali, when Ali used to throw his jab, he'd throw, they call it a slap jab, we call it an up jab, and it's just going to come up like that.
So you see he's not doing this full speed, but you can see that this one takes a little bit longer to develop, so you better be fast.
So that's an up jab. It's super easy. You're just going to take that hand from your front, slap it up. You're going to be relatively quick to do this because, as you'll see, it's got a lot more travel than just here. Your travel is relatively short here, your travel is quite long here, so you better be quick if you're going to use this one. But if you're quick enough for this one, it's a great technique because it gives them a different look. The more different looks you can give to your opponent, the more creative you are, the harder it is for them to solve the puzzle. So, all right, and the last one that we're going to cover is the retreating jab. You don't see this one thrown nearly enough, but in an age where aggressive boxing, especially in the beginning of your boxing career, when you get in there and you're in the novice division between 1 and 10 fights, you're going to find guys come in with just blind aggression. And if you don't have a retreating jab, good luck, because you're going to have a hard time with really aggressive boxers. So when somebody's really coming after you, I'm just going to move forward so he can have a target, but we're going to show you a demonstration afterwards. So this is a retreating jab. He's going to punch as he's leaving. Don't go back and then punch because you've not gained anything. I'll be able to follow you. So there you go. Boom, boom, boom. He's going to jab as he leaves. That keeps you from being too aggressive and following him unless you actually want to get punched in the face a few times as you follow him. If you punch as you arrive, so if you go back and then punch, you gain nothing. Because I follow you. Back and then punch, you gain nothing. I could be punching you maybe as we go forward. Punch as you leave, as you leave, as you leave, as you leave.
You can see that this helps him keep his distance when his opponent is aggressive.
All right, so pardon the little glitch there. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty with the phone. So that's the up jab. The up jab is, sorry, that's the retreating jab. I'll just cut that, it's fine. So that's the retreating jab. We're having a couple of technical difficulties here, so please forgive the glitch. So with all these jabs, what you're going to find is you're throwing them from different angles, they're different situations, they give your opponent something different to look at, and remember, your jab is the most important punch in boxing. Remember I told you at the beginning of the video, I want you to remember this. I'm going to list it again for you. The things that a jab is for. It is for finding range. It's for maintaining range. It is for closing range. It's for gaining range. It's for probing defenses. It's for blinding. It's for setting up punches. It has a million jobs. Use them all. Fire it from all the different angles. Find them. It'll help your boxing game. Train hard.